Okay. So this query gives only the views list. Select start from information underscore schema dot views. So it gives list of views. Then select start from information underscore schema dot views. That's it. Okay. Then next one, dropping. I want to drop view. Drop view V1. Like view V1 is dropped. Okay. Then so view V1 is dropped. Next. If we drop table, what about views created on table? Okay. If you drop table, what about the views created on table? So views are like not dropped. If you drop the table, what about the views created on table? Views are not dropped, but cannot be queried. Views cannot be queried. Okay. So views cannot be queried. That means you cannot run the queries on view. So views are exist, views are not dropped, but you can't run the queries on view, because whenever you run the query on view, that query is actually executed on base table because the base table is dropped. So that's why that gives error. Okay, then that's all. So this is about views. So this is about views. Then, so what the next one is synonyms. Next object is synonyms. Then, so what is synonym? What for synonyms are created? A synonym is another name or alternative name for a table or view. Okay. So giving another name or alternative name to the table is called synonym. But why we give another name to the table? Okay. So why we give another name to the table? So what is the purpose? Here the table names are short. Here the table names are short. EMP, DEPT, like this. But if we go to real-time projects, the table names will not be like this. The table name will not be like this. The table name will be something like contains like this. The table names will be like this, something. So it will be like this. Like suppose employee underscore personal underscore details. Okay. Next one, employee underscore salary details. Like employee underscore contact details, like that. Okay. So here table names are lengthy. Lengthy means number of characters. If table names are lengthy, what is the problem is? The problem is for developer. When writing the queries, he has to type number of characters. If table name is lengthy, then problem for developer. So because he has to write number of characters. Okay. So if table name is lengthy, what developer can do? He can give the simple and short name to the table, like EPD. Okay. ESD. Next one, ECD. He can give the simple and short name to the table. That simple and short name is called synonym. This simple and short name is called synonym. So after creating the synonym, Instead of using the table name, you can use the synonym name. After creating the synonym, instead of using table name, wherever you want to use table name, instead of using the table name, you can use synonym name. Okay, then. So if table name is lengthy, then we can give a simple and short name to the table called synonym. Okay, and after creating synonym, instead of using table name, we can use synonym name. In which queries select, insert, update, delete queries. Okay. So after creating synonym, instead of using table name, we can use synonym name in select, insert, update, delete queries. Okay. Then. So now, if query is lengthy, here, synonyms are if table name is lengthy. If object name is lengthy, then better give simple and short name to the object. That is called synonym. If query is lengthy, if query is lengthy, here if table name is lengthy, I said synonym. If query is lengthy, then view. That's all. If query is lengthy, create view. Give the name to the query, and instead of writing the query, use that view name. That's all. So now let's see example. Sorry. What is the syntax is create synonym name for table name. Example, create synonym E for EMP. So create synonym E for EMP. Then let's create. So synonym is created. After creating the synonym, okay, after creating. So instead of using table name, use synonym name. In which queries? Select, insert, update, delete queries. Okay, then. So like select star from E. Select star from E. So then you say select star from E. Then it will show the data from EMP table. Okay, so it is showing the data from EMP table. Now, not only select query, you can use it in update query also. Update E set salary equals to. So 73690 salary is 2000. 1000 where employee number equal to 7369. Then 4 rows, 1 row affected. Okay, now see the table. Select star from EMP. So update it. Okay, then. So we can use after creating. So we can use this synonym on these 4 queries. Select, insert, update, delete. Instead of using the table name. That's all. So that is the purpose of creating synonym. Nothing more than this. Okay. Then usually in projects, when naming the table, they follow some standards. while naming the table, they follow some standards. Like table name should be descriptive. Okay. So then what happens is the table name becomes lengthy. So every time writing the table name in queries is difficult for developer. So what SQL server is given a solution. So instead of using the table name, so create a synonym, use that synonym. Okay, then. That's all. Now, so here also it is same. What? Suppose, for example, you want to see the list of synonyms. Select start from sys.synonyms. Okay. Select start from sys.synonyms. Yeah. That's all. So what is E? E is the synonym name. And there is a called base object name. Base object name is on which table the synonym is created. So the synonym name is E and the synonym is created for EMP table. Then. So remaining data we don't need. Just we need only the two, name and base object name. Name and base object name. So this query gives synonym name and it is created for which table. That's all. Next one, dropping. Dropping. So drop synonym name. E. That's all. Synonym E is what? Drop. Here also, if you drop table, what about synonym? What about synonyms created on table? So what the answer is that synonyms are not dropped, but cannot be queried. Okay, then. Next, suppose a question is like this. What is that is, for example, then a question is like this. So they're given three commands. Okay, right. Create synonym E for EMP. So this is one command. What is the another command is select star from EMP as E. This is another command. SP rename EMP what E. Okay, then SP rename EMP E. So what the question is, they ask explain the difference between these three. Explain the difference between these three. So in this, what is E is synonym. Here, what is this E? Here, this is synonym. Here, what is this E? What is this E is called?
It's synonym, is it? It is synonym.
This is synonym. But what is this E? This one. Here it
As
is.
E.
Huh?
You said as E. So
Alias.
is it view? Yeah.
No. Alias.
Alias. Yeah, alias. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is synonym. This is called alias. That
Yeah.
means indirectly they're asking what is the difference between alias and synonym. Okay. Then So difference between alias and synonym. Because both are same purpose, giving the simple and short name to the table.
Yeah.
Alias purpose is also same, giving simple and short name to the table. Synonym is also same. Then what is the difference? Okay. So alias, synonym. Then alias is not permanent. Okay. So it exists up to this query only. Once query is execution completed, this E will not be there. So E is not permanent, E is temporary, but synonym is permanent. Once you create the synonym, it is permanent till you drop the synonym. Alias not stored in database, but synonym stored in database. Okay. You create the synonym and the synonyms are stored in database. Okay, then. So if you want, you can see we created a synonym. So DB 7 AM, expand this. There is a called synonyms. Here you can find E. Okay, so just now we created a synonym. You can find that because it is stored in database. But aliases are not stored in database. Okay, na? Alias is not stored in database. So synonyms are stored in database. Next one, another difference. Alias. What is the scope of the alias? What is the scope? What is the scope of the alias? The scope of the alias is up to the query.
Yeah.
So can we use this alias in another query?
No.
No. So then, and the scope of the alias is up to the query in which it is declared. Okay. So scope of the alias is up to the query. You can use only within the query. You cannot use in another query. And the scope of the synonym is up to the database. So in which database you created, you can use this within the database, up to the database. So that is the difference between alias and synonym. Okay, that. Okay, na? No. But what is okay? This is okay. But what if this is? In these two, in these two examples, you are giving another name to the table. In these two, you are giving another name to the table. But here what we are doing? Changing the table name. Okay. So changing what? That changes table name from EMP to E. But here you're not changing the table name. You are giving another name to the table. You're also giving another name to the table. But in this command, you are changing the table name from EMP to E. That's all. Okay. Yeah. That's all. So this is about synonyms. Next. So what the next object is sequences. Sequences. So what is sequence? A sequence is also a database object created to generate sequence numbers for primary key columns. Mainly used for primary key columns. For some fields, I don't want to input the value. The value must be automatically generated. For some fields, then, okay, we don't input the values. The value must be automatically generated. Okay, na? Then, like suppose, for example, you go to online shopping, you place order to buy the products. So immediately order number is generated. But this order number is generated automatically. So, okay. Then next one. Next. So like you go to, you do some bank transaction. So there will be a transaction ID. You don't input this ID. This transaction ID will be generated automatically. Okay. So how to generate the values for primary key columns? By using this sequence. That. So using sequence, like using sequence, we can auto increment column values. Okay. Using sequence, we can auto increment column values. So create sequence name. Next, start with some value. Next, increment some value. Next, max value, some value. Next, min value, some value. Next. Okay. Cycle. Next. Cache size. So create sequence name. So what are these? All these are sequence parameters. Start with increment, max value. Then. So where you want to start from? Every time the value should be incremented by how much? And what is the max value? Whether you want sequence to be cycle or no cycle. So this is on sequence parameters. Then first we'll see one example. Okay, example one. First, I create sequence with only 3 parameters. Then later we'll see these 3. So suppose create sequence S1. Create sequence S1. Start with 1. Increment by 1. Next, max value 5. Create sequence S1. Start with 1. Increment by 1. Max value 5. So let's create the sequence. So create the sequence. Sequence is created. After creating the sequence, I want to use this sequence for some table, some field. Suppose here, create table student. Create table student. One is student ID, integer, student name, varchar of 10. Create table student. So let's create the table. Then suppose table is also created. After creating the table, next, use sequence S1 to generate values for SI. for every new student. So for every new student, generate SID using sequence S1. Use sequence S1 to generate values for student ID. So like whenever a new student joins, generate the student ID. So new student means insert. Whenever a new student joins, we insert. Insert student values. What is the first column? Okay, first column, student ID. But I don't want to give the student ID. I want to generate the student ID by using the sequence S1. And what do you have to say? You have to say next value for S1. What is the next one? Student name, A. Then, so let me run this command. So let me execute this command. One row created. Next one. Student 2, B. Then student 2, B. So insert. One row created. Next one. Like C. Then one row created. Next one. D. D. One row created. Next one. E. Suppose I'm inserting fifth record. So one row created. What the value generated for student ID? 5. Next one. I'm inserting sixth row. F. I'm inserting sixth row. Then what it this gives? Error. Why? Because you set max value 5. Okay, na? You set max value 5. Then. So that is why you're generating more than 5. So that's why it gives error. Yeah. So what this command gives? This command gives error. Now see the table. Select star from student. You see the table. Select star from student. So you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the student IDs are automatically generated. So we have not entered the student IDs. Okay. Then. So that's all. This is the purpose of creating what? Sequence. So sometimes for some field values, I don't want to input. The values should be automatically generated for generating the student IDs. Yeah. So yeah. That's all. So this is like the purpose of sequence. But here actually, so we generated the student IDs for every new student. You can also generate the values for existing. Suppose if you take EMP table, in EMP table, employee numbers are there. But here, employee numbers are not in sequence. They're unique, but they're not in sequence. I want to make this employee number sequence. Then I do one thing. So create sequence S2. S2. Start with 100. Next, increment by 1. Next, max value something, 999. So the sequence starts from 100. Every time the value of the sequence incremented by 1 generates up to 9,999. So create the sequence. Sequence is created. Now I want to use this sequence to generate values for employee numbers. But it is for existing employees or for new employees. You want to generate you want to generate employee number for existing employees or for new employees. So the employees are already existing, but their numbers are not in sequence. So I want to generate the employee numbers for existing employees, not for new employees. Then what is the command we use? Update. Update emp set emp no equal to next value for S2. So it go to the first icon. Employee number is updated with next value for S2. What is the first time next value for S2? 100. First time. Next, go to second row. Employee number is updated with next value for S2. What the next value for S2? Previous one is 100, increment by is 1. 100 plus 1, 101. And go to third row. Employee number is updated with next value for S2. What is the next value for S2? Previous one is 101. 101 plus increment by 102. Like that. So let's see. Execute this query. Now see the table. Select star from EMP. Select star from EMP. See the table. So you see this. Employee numbers are what? Sequence. 100, 101, 102 like this. So we can use it for new and also we can use it for existing. Right. So in this command, like, so calling sequence in insert command, you're calling the sequence in insert command here. So calling sequence in update command. No. So create sequence. Yeah. Next. Use sequence S2 to update. Then that's all. So one is for every new student, one is for existing students. Okay, then. Next. Here, by default, the sequence is created with no cycle. So here there are two options. One is cycle, no cycle. By default, the sequence is created with no cycle. No cycle means once after reaching the max value, it stops. Here the sequence is created with what? Max value 5. So after reaching the max value 5, then it stops. Okay, after reaching the max value, then it stops. So it cannot generate more than 5. It can generate up to 5. Okay, then. So, but if sequence is created with cycle, then after reaching the max value, then it will be reset to min value. Then. So then, like question is how to restart sequence. How to restart the sequence. How to reset the sequence. Restart or reset. So one is using alter command. One method is using alter command. Another method using cycle option. Okay. So there are two ways to restart the sequence. One method is using alter. Another method is using cycle option. Okay. Now, see, for example, that. So we created a sequence. Okay, now we created a sequence S2. Then once again, we created a sequence S2. Now select what if you say next value for S2. Next value for S2. So sorry, next value for S2. So let's run this. 116, 117, 118, 119. So what the next value for sequence is? 120. But after reaching 120, I want to restart from 100. After reaching the some value, I want to again restart from 100. Then what we can do is alter sequence S2 restart with 100. So restart with 100. So execute this command. Command is executed. Now select next value for S2. Next value for S2. You see next value for S2 100. Suppose again 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 110. After reaching 110, again I want to restart from 100. Again I want to restart from 100. So alter sequence S2. Now see the sequence. Select next value for S2, 100. So this is how to restart the sequence by using alter command. Okay, by using alter command. So one using alter command. So then you have to execute the command like this. Alter sequence, which sequence you want to restart, and you want to restart from what value. So which sequence you want to restart, and you want to restart from what value. I want to restart from 100. That's it. Okay, that's it. So now how to restart using cycle option, we'll see that in the next class. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.